I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. Today on our program, we're going to be talking to a representative from the Autism Society of Northwest Pennsylvania. And their goal, basically, is to improve the quality of life for individuals and their families in the autism spectrum. And joining us today is the Executive Director of the Autism Society of Northwest Pennsylvania. We have Tish Bartlett. Tish, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
I am so glad to have you on board. It's the first time that we've done a program, and I was so pleased to realize that you're right here in town.
Yes, we're located right in Erie, here in the trenches with families living with an autism spectrum disorder, providing supports.
And I think that is absolutely, absolutely wonderful. First off, for our viewers out there, tell us a little bit about who is the Autism Society of Northwest Pennsylvania?
Well, the Autism Society of Northwestern Pennsylvania is an affiliate of the Autism Society of America, which was founded in 1969. So it's been around for a long time. They're located in Maryland. We are a local affiliate right here in Erie, Pennsylvania, supporting our local communities. We're a parent support organization. We depend 100% on fundraising dollars, and we are run by volunteers.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. What a job. What a job you guys have. I am so glad that you're here for us. Autism, I would have to say anymore, it's very rare that someone in some way isn't touched by someone who is in the autism spectrum. So first off, let our viewers know what truly is autism.
Autism spectrum disorder is a developmental delay of the neurological origin, and it affects communication, the ability to socialize, repetitive behaviors, and it can come anywhere from mild to severe. So it's very rare you're going to see two people with an autism diagnosis act exactly alike. It depends on some are verbal, some are nonverbal.
And that makes it difficult because it's not all cookie cutter.
Right, there is no cookie cutter. I always say that children and adults with autism are like snowflakes. There's no two alike.
That's a good way of putting it, Tish. It really is. You know, what are the signs of autism?
Usually parents will start noticing when their child is in their toddler stages. There'll be repetitive play, lack of communication, maybe a delay in communication, withdrawing, not interested in a play group. I mean, children at that age parallel play, but typically a child that's showing some signs of autism will be off on their own and doing repetitive play, and that could be taking their little Matchbox cars and putting them in a bucket, taking them out of a bucket, putting them in. They don't play with them appropriately.
You know, you said that this came into play in 1969, and I can remember back then when just the word autism was out there. Immediately you thought of someone who just totally could not function with anybody else. But there's different degrees, isn't there?
Yes, definitely different degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have individuals on the autism spectrum that will be going to college, that will be holding down significant jobs with supports, helping them with the communication and socialization in their workforce.
Right.
And then we have individuals that are severely or profoundly affected that are going to need lifetime supports, whether that is assisted living, assisting with their daily functions, their financials, their medical decisions. So, I mean, there's such a broad spectrum, and I think that makes it difficult for families.
I would think it would. Mm-hmm. I really do, because like you said, you know, some that are not, you know, the ones that need to be institutionalized, it's a difficult day in their life and also the life of the family sometimes. It can be very, very trying and very difficult.
Right, and the supports for adults on the spectrum are really not there, unfortunately. That is where we're lacking in our area in Pennsylvania is supports. They're estimating, there was a Pennsylvania autism census report that was done in 2005, and they just updated it in 2014. And the increase of adults on the spectrum has been 334%. They're saying that by 2020, we're going to have over 36,000 adults with autism. And right now, we do have a national leading adult autism waiver, which is wonderful, but there's only 518 waiver slots for supports. 518 isn't going to help through 36,000.
No, it is not.
Yes, and the parents of these young adults, you know, they're aging.
Yes.
They're concerned of who's going to take care of their adult.
Right.
They're going into their own senior years needing maybe some additional medical support and reduced income from retirement. And they're still trying to support, make medical decisions, financial decisions, and daily care. And it's very tasking.
It would be. It would be very, very tasking. That's why I'm so glad that you're right here in our backyard and people can come to you for help. We were talking earlier, and I did not realize this. I had mentioned to you Asperger's. I happened to be watching a television show, and I mentioned this, where the son has Asperger's, and I never realized the patience the whole family has to have, and living with someone on the autism spectrum. Now, when I mentioned Asperger's, you were telling me about something that happened in 2012.
Yes, in May of 2012, the new DSM-5 was released, which is the diagnosis book that the pediatricians and psychologists, psychiatrists utilize. And in that, they changed the diagnosis definition for autism, in that they eliminated Asperger's, PDD, NOS, and the classic autism. Now, all of those are referred to as an autism spectrum disorder, and then they're rated on levels of severity.
Okay.
So there's 3 levels, and with level 1 would be a mild. Maybe there would be a verbal individual, they would be able to communicate, maybe no intellectual challenges, could be extremely intelligent, whereas your more severely affected would be those that are nonverbal, non-communicative, and need significant supports.
Is it easy to diagnose the individuals on the lower level? Because they don't, maybe some of them, from what I've heard, don't have a lot of the symptoms. Maybe it's just a very, awkward social
A lot of
type of situations
higher
is awkward for them.
Yes, a lot of the higher functioning individuals, the mild cases we would call them, sometimes they're not getting diagnosed until their teenage years or even early adulthood. And so, I mean, I hope that is getting better with awareness and understanding versus many years ago. It was pretty common to have an individual not get diagnosed until they're in the school system.
Do you think it's the school system that will recognize some of these behavior quirks or habits?
I think they've come more attuned to it, but we have a lot more awareness and understanding that individuals are being diagnosed at a younger age. Before it was an average between age 4 and 5, and now they're being diagnosed at age 2, age 3, and typically age 3, 3.5 is the diagnosing age. This is very important because early intervention is extremely important for the individual. The earlier you start your therapies, your speech therapies, your occupational therapies, behavioral therapies, the child can learn these socializations, these social cues, be taught the facial expressions. And they can learn that, and that's going to help them once they get into their elementary years and mingling and interacting with their peers.
I believe so. I believe so. And of course, this falls under some of your programs and services, and that's what I want to talk about, and for you to explain to some of our viewers. What are some of the programs and the services that you do provide?
Now, as a family support organization, of course, we are there to provide support, whether the family is newly diagnosed or going through a transition in their life. I mean, there's some difficult times going from preschool to elementary school to middle school.
Right.
So we're there for that and to refer to what kind of services that they may be looking for. But then we also have a very extensive family, sensory, and social opportunities on a monthly basis.
And what do you do there?
We bring our families together
Okay.
at recreational events. We've done things like, well, this Sunday we're going snow tubing. We have over 80 people registered to go snow tubing.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, how fun.
Yep. We do swim nights. We do a summer picnic. We have an Autism Day at the Erie Seawolves where it's a sensory-friendly environment. And sensory-friendly means it's a little quieter, the music, the surroundings are a little calmer to help our individuals enjoy themselves. So these outings have been designed to practice their social skills,
Okay.
their community skills, to get these families and their individuals out into the community, and their leisure skills. I mean, it'd be hard to believe, but a lot of our individuals on the spectrum, they don't know how to relax and enjoy themselves.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. What I think I like about this, and what I think would be so helpful, is it's the whole family setting.
Yes.
Because this does affect, we were talking about this affects not only the individual who is having a hard time socially or learning or coping with emotions, but it's also the family and friends that it affects.
It does. On the parents' side, a lot of times the parents are uncomfortable of taking their individual out into a public setting because maybe there's been a tantrum or it was out of control, and sometimes, unfortunately, there are individuals that are not aware and don't understand and may pass judgment. And then when they come out to our outings, they're in a comfortable environment. They're with individuals that are walking the same walk and have been in the same situation of a public tantrum. And the other side of it is neurotypical siblings. It's very stressful if you have a brother or sister on the spectrum, because unfortunately, just because of the dynamics of the situation, the one on the spectrum may get some more attention because they're getting services that come in the house. The parent maybe have to spend more one-on-one time helping academically, behaviorally. And so when we have these outings, we highly encourage the neurotypical siblings to be involved so they can build a relationship without autism being in the spotlight.
You know, that is true. I never thought about that. That would be difficult for the brother or the sister because truly mom and dad, their time is consumed sometimes with the child who is on the autism spectrum.
Yes, yes, just because of the circumstances.
That would be difficult. Oh my gosh, it's great that you have things like that. What I thought was fun, what's this Auto Racers for Kids Lego Social Club?
Oh yes.
What is that?
We started.
You cannot lose with Legos.
Oh, it's wonderful. We started it. It'll actually be a year in February that we started it. They meet once a month on a Saturday. We have 43 kids signed up for their spring session. They come together and they build Legos. They're very creative. They have the opportunity. We provide the Lego bricks. We the minifigs. The minifigs. They're the ones that are most popular. I'll be honest.
What is
and
that? It's a what?
They're little miniature Lego figures.
Okay.
They're very, very popular.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they come and we have them divided up at tables by their age or their grade level in school.
All right.
And they have the choice of working independently or building together. And what's been really amazing was a year ago when we started this, everybody came in and they were building on their own. Don't touch my Legos, this is my corner, this is my Lego build.
Right.
And now they're team building. They've built their own relationships. We have a group of 3 boys I call the 3 Musketeers. They stand in the corner, they build together, and then we give them the photo opportunity. So all 3 of them come over with their masterpiece, and we take pictures. And then recently, we've added a sharing opportunity to all these kids to give them give them practice at their communication and explaining. So every month, 3 individuals volunteer to bring in a Lego build the following month.
Okay.
And at the end, they come up one by one and they present whatever they brought. Some have brought very elaborate Star Wars spaceships, and they explain, you know, why they built it, what it does, and then we give the group an opportunity to ask questions. And so they're learning to take turns, they're learning to share, they're learning to listen to each other, because unfortunately, one of the characteristics of autism is they're pretty rigid in their interest, and like to steer conversations towards their interest. And so to give them that opportunity to ask questions and learn about somebody else's interest is good practice for adulthood. Very good practice.
Yes, and when we get in the working world, we're going to have to listen.
Yes, we're going to have to listen. So our Lego club is for kindergarten through 8th grade. We do have some spots open if anyone is interested. We do invite neurotypical siblings. So majority of our participants are on the autism spectrum, but we do have some of their siblings because it's a great opportunity. We have a couple of twins. I think they're about 6 or 7. And the one boy is on the spectrum and his twin brother is not.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he came. It is. It's unusual. A lot of times both twins will have autism. And it was wonderful. The little boy on the spectrum started without his brother, and I mentioned to the mom, I said, you know, you bring his brother. And it was amazing to see how the one little boy with the autism lit up because his brother's now a part of his club.
What a fun activity. Boy, you're seeing a lot of progress too.
Yes.
With these kids, a lot of success stories.
It's very rewarding to see the relationships and have them ask for each other. They'll ask where their friend is. I had one little boy that wanted me to help write down his phone number because he wanted to have a friend over from Lego Club.
Really?
Yes, and that just, it makes it all worth it.
That's to your heart good.
And Auto Racers for Kids is a local organization here in Erie that raises money for and to support organizations that help children. And so they have granted us money twice now in order to fund the Lego Social Club because Lego bricks are expensive.
Yes, they are. Now, you host an annual conference every October.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Autism in Our Community event. It's, gosh, I think we're going on our 6th year now. We host it out at Penn State Barron. They've been very gracious to share their beautiful Burke Center building with us. We bring in a keynote speaker. We like to bring in somebody that's been published, of course, an expert in the autism arena. And then we offer, so we have the keynote in the morning, and then we offer an afternoon of breakout sessions led by local professional talent. We are very blessed in this area that we have a lot of professionals to help and guide and train. And this conference is designed for professionals, parents, as well as individuals on the autism spectrum. And this last October, we brought in a gentleman that talked about social skills training, and he was amazing, very, very dynamic. This coming October, we're bringing in Dr. Peter Gerhardt, and he is an autism expert on community integration, transition, and adulthood. So he's coming in to lead an all-day workshop. Because transition, a lot of people think of transition from when you leave high school and you go into your adulthood, whether that's further education or employment. But honestly, there's a lot more transition in life, like I mentioned before. When you're a parent of an individual with autism, you have a big transition from age 2 to 3, from being at home to going into a preschool, preschool to elementary school to middle school. That's a huge, huge adjustment.
Yes, it is.
And so this individual, Dr. Gerhardt, is an expert in these fields to help our teachers and our parents understand the transition and give us some ideas of how to make it smoother and how to survive it.
So these conferences are very, very beneficial.
Yes.
And educational.
Yes.
To anybody, caregiver and family member.
Parents, friends, grandparents, teachers, occupational therapists, behavioral specialists, you name it. The whole gamut, we bring them together, and we really make an effort to have a diverse presentation. So maybe one breakout session might be targeted towards parents. We're going to offer another one that's going to benefit teachers.
Okay. I know you do an annual walk too.
Yes, it's coming up.
And it's the same time every year. When is when is the walk?
It is
autism?
always the fourth Saturday of April. So this year it is Saturday, April 25th. It is our 14th annual Walk for Autism. It's just amazing. And I have to say, it's more than a walk. We're bringing families together, professionals together to enjoy the day. Celebrate. It's not there to be sad. You're there to celebrate your individual with autism. We have the Erie Seawolf. Seawolf comes. We have the Lake Erie Speedway Cheetah. He comes. We've had clowns. One year we had the Pirates of the Caribbean guys come. We had pirates.
You guys on the news, and you have a lot of fun. You make it a fun family event.
Yes, we do. We want people to come and enjoy. Of course, you know, it depends on how chilly it is, how long people stay. but there's a playground. We have bounce houses. We do a light lunch for our walkers. We have vendors. We bring in local providers, individuals, so our parents can have a chance to connect with services that are available in the local area. And then we're well known for our theme basket auction. We get over 75 to 100 baskets. So it's kind of our reputation for our baskets.
I've heard about your baskets. You also have a grant-making program. What's that about?
Yes, many years ago we wanted to give back to the community. So our board of directors set up a grant program. It's biannually, and we provide grants to local 501c3s and school districts to provide funding. We've funded items like a sensory room in local school districts. We have funded a transition program in Meadville through their chamber. We have funded the Ann Kaluka Autism Camp, which is held in the summer, and it can be a day or overnight camp. So some examples of providing to give money back to help increase services and supports.
What a great idea. That really is. I want to talk just a little bit because we're coming to the end. You've got an autism coloring book. Tell me about that.
Yes, we created an autism coloring book, and it's actually designed for neurotypical preschoolers, kindergarten, and first grade to teach them about autism and let them know that it is okay to be a friend with somebody that is on the spectrum, and to explain, you know, they might act a little different. They may get upset about things if a schedule changes, but that's okay, that we need to understand and support. And so it's been successfully introduced into several school districts here in our local area. We're very proud of it. And we hope to and we hope to continue that, because if you educate and raise awareness at a young age, then they're going to grow to understand and accept and support.
That's right. That's right. You are so right. And really, what is your most important goal that you want? Your mission. What is your mission here for the Autism Society?
Well, I like to say to support our families, so they know they're not alone.
Yes.
But another portion of this is it's so vital to keep raising awareness, to educate, and to advocate. We need to keep advocating, because if you're quiet, you lose your services, unfortunately.
Right.
And we need our voices heard, and we need to join together and let the government know we need more services for our adults. We need to increase those adult autism waivers.
Yes, you do.
We need to help our families.
Now, I know, do you, a lot of these programs really succeed with volunteers, don't they?
Yes.
So you always have a need for volunteers?
We do. We utilize over 100 volunteers just for our walk.
Oh, wow. It's a big walk, I do know that.
Yes, we usually get about 2,500 or more people participating, which is wonderful. But we utilize volunteers all throughout the year. And we've been very successful with our local colleges here, supporting and coming in and helping.
And you've seen diagnosis on the autism spectrum growing through the years, haven't you?
Yeah. Last year, March of 2014, the CDC released new numbers, 168 individuals on the autism spectrum.
Wow.
So it's definitely, it's continuing to increase. We're still going to see the growth.
Yes.
And we need to keep raising awareness and advocating for the services.
Tish, if someone has any questions or they want to volunteer or they just need more information, how can they get a hold of you?
We're right here. We are on Facebook. We are on the web. We have a phone number. Our website is nwpa-asa.org. Our phone number is 814-455-3540, and then you can also find us on Facebook under Autism Society Northwestern Pennsylvania.
So go like them on Facebook. This will keep you updated on any of the different events that you have planned.
Yes, we promote all our events, and we also like to keep our families updated in any changes in their services, access, what's coming up, what they need to know about, and what they need to speak out and support.
Tish, thank you so much for joining us on the program. It's been a pleasure meeting you, a pleasure learning about all the programs that you have in place. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
You know, it's an awesome job, and you're helping so many people in our community.
Thanks. We're happy to be here.
Viewers, if you have any questions, please give Tish a call. Check out their website, like them on Facebook. Viewers, thank you for tuning in to the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.